you for watching today. This is Kinnear. Welcome to another Starfield video. In this video, I'll show you an amazing way to get legendary spacesuits, packs, and helmets. With this technique, you can spawn items indefinitely until you get the perfect one for your playstyle. Let's go get them. I wasn't really looking for this, but I was out farming for ornamental materials in order to put posters on my ships, because clearly my crew needs reminders to clean up after themselves. So I jump on top of my ship, I look in the distance, and I find civilian outpost and an abandoned farm. Pull up the new maps available in the May beta, and the civilian outpost looks really interesting. I've been to these before and used them for this exact purpose. You'll notice there's a lot of water around it, quite an extensive facility. We're interested in the building right here in the center. It's worth noting that Nesoi has near Earth gravity, it's a temperate environment, standard O2, and water on it. And I believe that these specific civilian outposts only spawn on planets with this type of profile. I don't know if all of these are absolutely necessary. The water is clearly necessary because these civilian outposts spawn on this large pool of water. You couldn't do this on a planet without it. So I do a quick run over here. Sometimes I will put an outpost in the area. Almost every time I get near one of these, a ship will spawn and land. These civilian outposts are not occupied otherwise, but when the ship lands, you can get friendly or hostile parties. So sometimes you'll find some people walking around. I found some walking around that ask for water. That happens at a lot of points of interest, and sometimes it'll be Ecliptic or someone else, and you'll have to fight them. You don't have to fight them. You can just ignore them. Because we're in the May beta, ships are falling everywhere. I can't see that because of the cloud cover. So we'll go inside. That's the important part. Now, I will show you the armor that I'm currently wearing. And the items that I have right now, even though this is a new game plus and they're going to be thrown away fairly soon, all came from this technique at another location just like this. I have a mechanized refined explorer spacesuit with a plus 40 carry capacity, and I have plus 20 on a repulsing mercenary balanced pack. Please note, these aren't superior or advanced items in some cases, but they just happen to be useful. Given the gameplay options in the May beta, going forward, plus 20 carry capacity, plus 40 carry capacity might be absolutely irrelevant to your playthrough. You can prioritize other traits over carry capacity going forward if that's part of your gameplay. If it's not, this still might be useful. As soon as we arrive, we're going to want to make a quick save. I like to open the doors on the display cases first and then do the quick save. It's not necessary. You can open doors each time. It just saves a few seconds here or there. But don't take any items off the mannequins until you're absolutely sure you want them. Now I'll open each mannequin, quickly look to see if there are any legendary items or epic items. We found an epic right off the bat, but it's not something I want. I'll restore my next quick save and open this up. This is interesting. This is an epic advanced navigator pack with plus 20 capacity and chameleon. Maybe those are traits you want. I already have the plus 20 capacity. I have chameleon through a skill, so this isn't one I'm going to pick up. Roll again. Liquid refined. You'll get a lot of them with cooling and thermal benefits. That might become more important after the May beta. More epics. Now, it's worth noting that I'm cutting this video and showing you when I find something like this, the Incendiary and Advanced Star Roamer Space Helmet. This is a great find. Not only is it legendary, but it's advanced. Now, if you look at the traits, they may or may not be what you're looking for, but it is possible to find legendary advanced items. Now, I will note that this is a Star Roamer helmet, which means the base attributes are probably lower than, let's say, a mercenary helmet. So it's probably worth considering that as well. Sturdy, do I take a lot of melee damage? Not really. Analyzer, never been a thrilling one for me. Incendiary, 10% chance, that's kind of fun. So at the end of the day, I don't want that. So I reroll. Holstered. Again, With the new changes to carry capacity, this may not be important for you. Chameleon's still a nice one, and it's a mercenary suit, so look at the physical attributes right off the bat. 112, 144. It is not advanced. This is a base mercenary suit. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, and I've cut this video so that I can just show you the technique in a relatively short amount of time, is this can take a lot of repetitions. The chance of finding a legendary is probably less than 10% on each roll. Now, the benefit is we have 4 full spacesuits with 3 items each, which means we're getting essentially 12 rolls every time we try this technique or we reload in front of this. The mirrored calibrated deep core spacesuit. Again, another legendary, but it's calibrated. It's not advanced or superior. The combination of a legendary with superior or advanced is ideal. Even an epic is a pretty good combination, but then you're always going to look at the traits that are present on the suit. Each time you decide I have to have a legendary, it has to be advanced or better, or it has to have specific traits, your chances of finding it are smaller and smaller. In this test, I reloaded over 50 times in order to get a rough idea of how frequently these things were going to happen. Now, the last part of this technique I'm going to show you is what happens when you find something that you want to take. And in this particular case, we found a mirrored calibrated deep core spacesuit. So calibrated is pretty nice. The fact that it's deep core is not great, but it's got bolstering and a couple of traits that are okay. So I'm going to take it just as an example of how this works. We're going to take it from the case. And since we're taking this one, we're actually going to take this case out of our rotation going forward. So we might as well take the rest of them because we could sell them if we didn't want them. After we take it, that one case is now spent largely. And if we want to keep this item, we're going to have to do another quick save at this point. Because if we were to restore to our previous quick save, that item would be removed from our inventory and we wouldn't have it. Going forward, because we're going to be restoring with an empty case, we're only going to have 9 potential rolls each time we do this. So I'll do a quick save. And then I just continue the process. Except now, instead of having 12 items roll each time, it's only 9. You get pretty good returns even with 9 items. Legendaries are showing up, epics are showing up, and it feels relatively common. When I get down to 1 or 2 cases, I'll often abandon the site and just move on to another site and try to find another civilian outpost. As Troy tells us at the start of this game, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So that's the technique. Just to recap, if you are on a planet that has a temperate environment, oxygen, and water is key, and you find a civilian outpost, with the new maps, pull up the local map, see if it looks like this type of civilian outpost. Once you get to the civilian outpost and you go into this building, stand in front of the display cases with the mannequins in them, open the doors, do a quick save at that point in time. At this point, you can now look at each mannequin individually and assess whether the items that are spawned on that mannequin are useful for you. If they're not, restore your quick save and repeat this process. I hope you find something that you're looking for. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember that what lies behind you, what lies in front of you, pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. It's never too late to be what you might have been. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and get notifications. This is Kinnear, and I'm out of here.